2,000 years ago, a Roman emperor sat down every morning and wrote notes to himself, not instructions for his generals, not laws for the empire, notes to himself about how to think, how to respond, how to live. His name was Marcus Aurelius. Those notes became what we now call the Meditations, one of the most read books in human history. He did not need to write those things down. He was the most powerful man alive. He wrote them because he understood something that most people never grasp. The mind, left unmanaged, will work against you every single day. Tonight, 5 rules from the Stoics that, if you apply them, will begin to rewire how your brain operates. Not eventually, this week. Rule 1. Control only what you can control. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the greatest philosophers of his time, built his entire teaching on one distinction. There are things that are up to us, our thoughts, choices, our efforts, our responses. And there are things that are not up to us, other people's opinions, outcomes, circumstances, what someone else decides to do or not do. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. And most people, without ever knowing this framework, spend the overwhelming majority of their energy on the second category, on what they cannot control, on what other people think, on outcomes they cannot guarantee, on situations that belong entirely to someone else. The practice is this: before you spend a single unit of energy on anything, sort it. Is this in my control? If yes, act fully. If no, release it completely. That is the whole rule. Simple to understand, a lifelong practice to master, but you start today. Rule 2. Start every morning with intention, not information. Marcus Aurelius wrote the Meditations in the mornings. Before the palace filled with demands and decisions, before anyone could reach him, he sat with his own mind and set his intention. Who am I going to be today? What principle am I going to hold? Now let me ask you, what is the first thing most people do when they wake up? They pick up their phones, and within 60 seconds, they have surrendered their minds to other people's agendas, the news cycle, the notifications, the opinions, the crises that do not belong to them. They begin the day already reactive, already behind, and they don't even know it. The practice is 30 seconds before any screen, before any conversation, one sentence, one intention. Today I will respond before I react. Today I will be fully present in every exchange. One line, it costs nothing. It changes everything. The Stoics understood that the morning belongs to you. Guard it like the resource it is. Rule 3. See the obstacle as the path. This is the rule that most people resist first, because it asks something uncomfortable. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic. Position on difficulty is not to endure it and wait for it to pass. It is to use it. Every obstacle you face is carrying within it the exact training you need at this moment. The difficult relationship is teaching you something about your own patterns. The failed project is showing you precisely what needs to be refined. The rejection is not a verdict, it is a redirect. I worked with a man, talented, driven, who had just lost a major contract. He came to me with the question, why did this happen to me? And we reframed it. Not why did this happen to me, but what is this preparing me for? 6 months later, the loss of that contract had forced him into a direction that became the best work of his career. The obstacle is not in the way, the obstacle is the way. Rule 4, respond, never react. There is a space, small but everything, between what happens to you and what you do about it. The reactive person closes that space immediately. Something happens, they're already in motion, already mid-sentence, mid-escalation, mid-regret. The Stoic person lives in that space deliberately. They choose. and in that choice they keep their power. Here is how you build it. You practice in low-stakes moments first. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Pause before you respond. A small frustration at work, pause there. Because the pause is not a feeling, it is a muscle. And you do not build a muscle in the crisis. You build it in the ordinary, everyday moments, so that when the real test comes, and it will come, the pause is already trained into you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone is able to show me that I am wrong, I will happily change." That is a man so settled in himself that he has no need to react. He can receive, he can consider, he can choose. That is not weakness. That is the most sophisticated form of strength there is. Rule 5. Review your day with honesty every evening. Seneca had a nightly practice. Every evening before sleep, he would review his day, not to punish himself, not to replay his failures, but to audit honestly. He asked 3 questions. Where did I fall short today? Where did I do well? What will I do differently tomorrow? No journal required, no 30-minute ritual. 5 minutes of honest reflection, sitting with yourself before you sleep. That is the whole practice. Because here is the truth, right? Then without this closing loop, most people repeat the same day for years. The morning intention sets the direction. The evening review completes the circuit. Together they create a self-correcting system. One that does not need external accountability because it has built its own. 90 days of this practice, consistently, and you will not recognize the version of yourself that looked at a problem without asking, "What is this preparing me for?" You will not recognize the version that handed the first 60 minutes of every day to a phone. The rewiring is real, but it requires the daily choice. 5 rules, the dichotomy of control, the protected morning, the obstacle as path, the pause before response, the honest evening review. Marcus Aurelius had an empire to run and still found time for all 5. Seneca wrote on time management while serving one of the most volatile emperors in Roman history. Epictetus built a philosophy of freedom from inside a slave's chains. You have fewer obstacles than any of them, and you have the same 24 hours. Take one rule, just one, and put it into practice before this day ends. Not tomorrow, today. Because Stoicism that stays in the room as an idea has done nothing for you. Stoicism that walks out the door with you and changes one decision tonight. That is philosophy doing its actual work. Go do the work. Thank you.